Betty is coming to you live from Office 2. We have Delilah that is now chilling out. She's sleeping right here. She was getting awfully tired this morning after we had our play date with our coffee club on the crime story side. And so now we're on this side. We're on this side where we're going to actually have a great topic of conversation. And it kind of was inspired yesterday. We were on our show and we were I was cooking dinner. And so we got into a conversation. It was kind of a light thing where it's usually the crime stories, Bullhorn Betty crime story side that typically gets, the one-on-one where we just casually talk back and forth and I read the chat and all that. That's usually over there because usually on this side we have a lot of conversation. Miss Lee, are you stalking me? I see some stalkers in here. Just joking. It's nice to see you, Miss Lee, Donna, Honey Dip, Michelle. I got stalkers. Oh my gosh. I need to run away. Look, Don's in here, Stacy. Oh, good gracious. You guys are following me around. Vita, it's nice to see you. Teresa, Tony, it's boy, you're busy this morning. Yeah, I got works to do. But you know what? We are going to be coming into the area, and I have some questions. And this kind of came organically. Hey, Donna, it's nice to see you. I'm sorry. I got stalkers. Happy hump day. It's nice to see you, Clarissa. Morning, guys. Morning. And we're going to have more of an in-depth conversation on this channel because yesterday we were just kind of having, I was cooking. I didn't really want to think too much, because I was cooking and we were just having a chat. But you know what came up is the 17 hours. And we were all really confused on the 17 hours. Good morning, Hope. It's nice to see you, Sue. Good morning. I think I said hi to Stacy. I think I had said hi to everybody so far. So hi guys. Thank you for being here. Oh, Big Mac Mike's in the house. You look like a natural beauty now. I know. I'm all natural. I'm even letting the hair go all natural. We're almost through. We're almost through the helmet stage. I'm actually kind of surprised. When I put my little thing up here, I'm starting to see the dark coming through and not the light. So I'm getting there. Pretty soon this is all the blonde's gonna be chopped off, but I gotta let it get a little bit longer. Doesn't look too bad, It could be worse. It could be worse. So, Betty, I've been stalking you for almost 22 months, 2 years. I was going to say 22 years. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Thanks, Miss Lee. Love ya. Love you so much. I love you guys. A little bit. It's nice to see you. But part of that conversation comes down to the 17 hours Chris was missing. And this has been a sticking point for our channel for quite some time because, we never really figured out what day he left. We don't really have anything. But you know what? I think the information is somewhere and we need to put our heads together to figure it out. And the reason why it's so important is because when I know where he's at, then we can kind of figure out where he could have gone, right? And that's where the problem lies in this whole matter is that he disappeared. We didn't know. I mean, we knew about it, but it was later in one of the interviews. And I think it was Smiley's World. I think that's the interview where he talked about the 17 hours or him disappearing for 17 hours and what he stated. I don't know if it was on Nancy Grace. I think it was on Smiley's World. I got to go back and look at the Smiley's World interview. And maybe we'll readdress that because that was, that was a fairly intense interview. That's where Chris was wanting the hard questions, but would not answer the hard questions. It was really, reminds me of Letitia Stout driving across the country. It does. There's something there with that 17 hours. We all feel it in our gut. I'm not going to sit here and act like there's no relevance to the 17 hours. There's absolute relevance to the 17 hours. It's relative to the circumstance because, if it only takes him 3.5 hours to get home, why would it take him 17 hours to go pick up a camper and come home? I mean, just as simple as that. You know, it doesn't make sense, right? He should have been gone tops, tops. 3 hours there, 3.5 hours there, 3.5 hours back, 7 hours, 2 hours. So 9.5 hours should have been all it took for him to get his camper, get it packed up at the absolute latest. 2 hours. In 2 hours, I am being so conservative on that. Or so liberal, I should say. So liberal on that. 2 hours, because a camper his size, there's nothing out. What does he need to pack up? He needs to secure a few things. He needs to batten down the hatch. That's literally it. Hook it up to the truck and get it out of Dodge. It doesn't take it 2 hours is a lot of time. I mean, you're talking about having grills and this and that to break down, which I've had to do. It doesn't take more than an hour to pack up a camper the size of his. It's not like it's being folded up into a little box. It's not like a Murphy bed, right? Where you have to worry about things just breaking and falling when you lift the bed up. I mean, it's not like that. Their bed is down. The sidewalls come in. That's all. It's a button. It's literally a button. And most of those cupboards and everything, they have locking things so this stuff doesn't fall out. But even if you need to take everything out of the cupboards, there's not a whole lot of cupboards there. You put it in a box or a Rubbermaid Tupperware container, and it just stays in the middle of the aisle until you get where you're going. That's it. Like, I could literally, I can't imagine it taking more than an hour. I mean, an hour tops, 30 minutes. So this whole idea that all of a sudden this camper takes 10 hours to clean up. 10 hours is what he's wanting everybody to believe it took him to clean up that camper. This little ass camper. I mean, yeah, we've had smaller ones, but his is not that big. Okay? And I don't see Chris as being this slob of a guy where just crap is just everywhere. He's military. He was never able to live like that in the military. He's not living like that at home. A man usually doesn't have all the items that women would take. Exactly. Perfect example, Donna. Perfect perspective as well. Men don't pack like women, okay? For example, when we were traveling around the country, Jonathan had a little duffel bag, right? A duffel bag. Me, I had my backpack, I had this suitcase, I had that suitcase, I had this bag with the electronics, this bag. And look, I had like 5 or 6 bags to go on a week trip. Right? So all of this stuff. Hey, Periwinkle, it's nice to see you. Denise, it's nice to see you. Crystal, good morning. That's 30 minutes emptying a tank, everything, when my hubby does it by himself. Yeah, there you go. Crystal, perfect. And I forgot about the tanks. But there's no evidence that he did any of that. There's no evidence that he did any of that. And does his the area where his camper stays, do they have hookups right there on the side? I mean, these campers are expected to be there. I mean, you can't rent a spot for a day or two there. You rent for the month. You would think that they would have their own hookup there, because otherwise they'd have to constantly be hooking up their campers and taking them to get them dumped. And it didn't appear that Chris's camper ever moved. So it makes me wonder if there's, at those sites, because of how long the people stay there, if there's hookups right there at the site. Hey, Casual Christy, it's nice to see you. Nice to see you. Guadalupe, it's nice to see you. Sophery, hopefully I did not butcher your name. If I did, I'm so sorry. You too, Guadalupe, you too. So what do you guys think about the 17? When was this 17 hours? I mean, we're hearing that it happened 2 days. We know at a process of elimination, I don't believe he left in 2 days. We had a video from that disgusting, vile, heavy-set, just nasty woman that's now buddy with Chris and Katie, right? She actually was on the right side of things, and then it wasn't producing the results she wanted, so she decided to flip to get the clicks and the views she needed. And so she's buddy with Chris and Katie, probably trying to get as much information out of them to do the little switcheroo, because she's part of the hate squad, right? And that's the kind of garbage that they do, the kind of white trash garbage that they do. And they actually think they're going to get somewhere with these people. These criminals, the parents that do horrible things to their children, they don't break. If they were going to break, seasoned detectives would break them. Some idiot on YouTube is not going to break them, right? They're just going to play them like a fiddle, because they've already had plenty of opportunities with law enforcement to play law enforcement like a fiddle. Give me a second. There we go. I can breathe. This sinus stuff drives me nuts. It's all in my nose. There's not really any place else. Good morning, Seth. It's nice to see you. I got a question for you, Seth. Maybe you can answer. It might take you a minute to answer, because that's what happened yesterday. I need to ask you, because I was a little confused. And you said afternoon. Now, I'm trying to figure out what you meant by afternoon. Are you saying that this argument that was over the GoFundMe, was that in the afternoon? Or did you... I forgot what I was going to ask. Never mind. I'll think of it. When I ask it, I'll ask it. I'll ask it. I'm trying to find out when the argument happened. Was that in the evening on the third day, that Wednesday, or was that earlier in the day? Because I'm trying to determine when he could have, trying to calculate a 17-hour trip. That's what he said, to, I believe it was Smiley's World. I think that they addressed it in, let me see. Good morning, by the way, Seth. I hope you're having a decent day this morning. I would say good, but I know nothing in your world's good right now. So, I'm sorry. Let me see. Smiley's World. I know she sent it to me. I remember that. Let me find her in my messages. Okay, here we go. See. Oh. I remember she sent me the link. Here it is. Let me open it in this. And I probably won't be able to find it.
Okay, fair enough.
Hold on.
I mean, I get it, the active investigation, but yeah, but you did really, maybe it's just because of text, but you did make it seem like there was no, like that this was the first time
that sounds like Josh from the lab.
No, I didn't insinuate. Now, understand something. Words on paper are simply words on paper. Whatever emotions you put behind them is directly proportionate to yourself, not me.
Oh, sir, I didn't put any.
Wow, Chris is a little firecracker.
You're trying to insinuate on this show.
No.
Yes, you did, sir. Yes, because you just stated that you said that I made it sound like this. No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
I gave you a direct statement, gave you your answer, and that right there is exactly what I'm talking about. Then you called into the show and you said, "Yeah, you're lying." No, I'm not lying. So call a spade, but make sure you're right. Now, to be honest with you,
what a jack!
It has nothing to do with finding my son.
He's not your son, kid.
You don't think that? You don't think? Okay, all right. Well, look, man.
How does CPS have to do with anything finding Sebastian? Because if you're insinuating something.
Because Chris, the reason why CPS is involved, and the reason why we're questioning this, is because usually in our cases, in our world, when CPS is involved, then a child goes missing, typically the CPS is hand in hand with that child disappearing. Just saying. Dum-dum. Let me find, I wish there was a way. I thought I saved the transcript once upon a time. I could have swore I changed this transcript. I thought I saved it. I remember downloading it. It took like an hour to download the transcript. You have to highlight it and sit it on something. Let's see. Let me see. Camper. Here it is. Let's see. Hold on. I did save it. Find camper. So that's at once something, yeah. And get your camper. I mean, what did you have to go back? Okay, here it is. I got it. It's at the 143. We're almost there, just not quite there. So we'll start at like the 139 mark. Let's listen to this.
Now, there's 3 parents in this world. Well, more than 3, but right now for this situation, there's 3 parents that cannot do that.
Cannot do
so
what? Let's
forgive and enjoy the kids that you have. The woman whose heart's broken because her son is missing.
Let me ask. Let's do a poll in here. Let's do a poll in here. Do I have a way to do a poll? Let's do a poll in here. Let's start a poll. Start a poll. Okay, which poll do I want? That's not what I wanted to do. I want to start a poll. There we go. Does Katie appear to be upset about her son missing? All right, a poll has officially been started. Did Katie appear to be upset about her son missing? Please take the poll if you'd like. Let's get on with this. We're going to hear this. We're going to go through. This is where they start talking about the camper, I believe. This is the only place that I can find in this interview where they talk about the camper, and it's about 3 minutes out.
If everybody would just take a step back for 1 second, go look at your kids and realize you got a kid.
Yeah, Chris, you know why you don't have a kid? Maybe it's that ultimatum you gave Katie. It's either her son or you. Maybe that's the reason why. Just saying. Just saying. Guys, I actually got a poll. Okay, you guys are voting in the poll. Okay. Wow, CP is a parent expert now. I know when you say that, it's hard not to laugh at that. A man that didn't even want his own daughter, a child's missing from his home, and he can't even, and the mother of his own daughter doesn't want her daughter anywhere near him because he's a violent, cruel animal. I don't blame her.
Your kids at your house right now that you can walk up to, they may be in the bed sleeping, but you can walk up to them, give them big old hugs and kisses, tell them good night.
Did you guys ever give him big old hugs and kisses? Because it seemed to me like the only person that Katie really seemed to smile ear to ear with was Faith at the church thing.
And enjoy the moments. Right now, there's 3 parents in this world. Well, more than 3, but right now for this situation, there's 3 parents that cannot do that.
No, Chris. There's only one parent that cannot do that because it doesn't sound like you guys cared about hugging Sebastian. It seemed like you were too busy trying to control him into normalcy, beat him into normalcy. Who knows?
So forgive me for standing up and being my wife's rock and foundation, because that's what a marriage is. That's my job.
Oh, the rock and the foundation. You mean the rock and the foundation that you were supposed to, like when you have a missing stepson, tell your work, you got to go, you got to get off this crane, you have to be home for your family. But no, you didn't do that. The rock and foundation is only in the public eye because really behind the scenes, you would have worked the whole day that day unless you got kicked off the job. Isn't that the truth? Seems like that's more in line with the truth. What about that rock solid man you were when your wife calls you and tells you your stepson's gone, and you're like, oh, well, I'll continue working. You handle it, honey. That kind of rock? That kind of man? Yeah, you're that kind of man, all right, Chris.
Um,
But we do love all of y'all. Doesn't matter. We still love you.
Yeah, that's fine. Oops. All right, come on, Delilah. You're like knocking crap.
If you want to answer, go for it.
no, I don't understand why it's a problem that my husband helps talk. I mean, I get that y'all want to hear my voice more, but honestly, half the time it's because I'm crying or...
Bullshit. You know what, Katie? You were the only one in that house, and you've got a man that wasn't even anywhere there, according to your own account, answering all the questions. How the hell does he know? And why is he always quick on the draw to answer those questions when he wasn't there? You cannot tell me that she gave him every single detail of every single moment. No, he's feeling some of that stuff in because he's the only one talking. Cut it out.
Honestly, I don't have words to explain what I am anymore.
You don't have words at all. You laughed when they asked you, what would you like to tell your son? Your missing son. Oh, let's not forget that. Mother of the year. Mother dearest of the year. Let me ask you, Katie. Do you have metal hangers or plastic hangers in your closet? I'd like to know, mommy dearest.
It's okay. I just wondered. A lot of people was asking that. I'm sorry, I was trying to read some of this. A lot of people was asking that, and just might as well ask it.
No, and we appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. Like we said, thank you.
Oh, we appreciate it. Yeah, okay, Chris.
Let's see. All right, y'all. Let's see. Oh, what did y'all like to do together as a family when Chris was in town and y'all were all together? Like, what was your thing? Did you ever have a short mini vacation on the weekends? Did you go? What did you like to do? Oh, we do all sorts of stuff. He loves Top Golf, so we like to take him there. Mm-hmm.
When was the last time you took him to Top Golf, Katie? Didn't want to answer that. Let's keep hearing. Let's see if she talks about anything they've done recently.
Dave and Buster's because games. Yeah. Yeah.
So she's talking about things they have done, but doesn't talk about when they've done them. She's laughing.
Really good parks in the area that he still enjoys going and playing in.
Hiking.
We do hiking. We go bowling. We have in the summer a family member with a pool, so he absolutely, utterly loves going over there. And
which family member has a pool that they absolutely love going over to in the summer? Do we know who the family member is? Deanna, she was upset remembering what happened, in my opinion, but not upset he was missing. I can tell you that her demeanor should be getting worse, not improving, right? Every day that her child's gone longer and longer, she should be diminishing and falling apart. That's not happening, right? She seems to be just fine. I mean, heck, they were going out motorcycle shopping the day that her son was receiving his reward from the school. She wasn't even there to accept the reward on behalf of her own son. She was too busy trying to shop for a motorcycle. Seth was the only one there to be able to accept that award on behalf of his son. She wasn't even the mother that has lost her baby. Can you imagine Steve and Christy Gonzalez missing that? What mother does that? Is this like a grieving mom? I think we shed more tears that day than this lady did, and she gave birth to this boy. She's disgusting.
We do game nights. He loves playing cards.
Uno is currently his
that's where it
favorite
comes in.
game.
Could he swim?
Like a
Like a
fish.
fish.
What was his favorite food?
Well, that
Depends
depends
on
on
what
which day of
day.
the week.
What day of the week?
Yeah.
He changes his favorite food probably every day. Chocolate milk has been a long time runner.
Tofu, believe it or not, tofu. He's not a huge steak eater, but
Not
steamed tofu.
fried. Not fried and no sauce. Just plain steamed tofu and sushi. The boy loves sushi.
Chris seems to not like the idea. He doesn't like steak. He's not manly like him and likes the steak. He just likes the tofu. I can't stand Chris.
Yep.
Disgusting.
He loves it.
Did he like going to? Did y'all ever take him to the Japanese places?
It's
where
coming up in about another
they made
minute.
that in front-
Shoguns where they cook in front of you.
Yeah,
Oh, hibachis, yeah.
yeah.
He likes it, but he doesn't at the same time because it's so loud and clanky.
Yeah,
And
So
they use
it's
a lot of the teriyaki style sauce.
yeah.
When we get his, we kind of have to ask, like, hey, can y'all scoot from over? He doesn't like condiments that much. He really doesn't.
Yeah, yeah. Chris, what time did you get home on Monday? Do you remember?
Here we go. Here's some.
I want to say it was. Well, hold on. Let's see here.
He can't remember what time, so he's about to tell us what time he got home. We know it's 3.5 hours to get home. This is good.
Something.
Hold on.
I want to say it was. Well, hold on. Let's see here. 1 something, I think.
Yeah. And then did you have to go back up there and get your?
1 something. So he got home at 1 something. It takes 3.5 hours to get there. So he didn't say how 1 something it was. Oh, that was the question. The afternoon. He got there. Maybe you can. Was it 1:30? Was it closer to 2? I don't know. But we now know it's 1 something. So that means he had to have left his job. 1 something. So let's just cut it in the middle. Let's say 1:30. He got there at 1:30. Okay, give or take. So 1:30. It takes 3.5 hours. So 3 hours would be 3, 12, 11, 10. So between 10 and 10:30, that would be, so between 10 and 10:30, he left his job. He found out about his stepson missing at 6:03 in the morning, and it took him 4 hours. I want to put that in perspective. 4 hours to leave his work, to make his way home. 4 hours. And it wasn't because he asked to leave. It's because he got kicked off the job. Wow. What a loving, caring guy he is. Didn't we start off with him saying that that's his job as a man to protect his family? What man protects his family when he finds out his stepson's missing from his home and it takes him 4 hours to leave work? And he didn't even leave work on his own accord. All right, Delilah, you keep knocking my thing. You're going to have to hit your head. Come on. Get it. Twist around. There you go. Sorry, she keeps moving and keeps moving and keeps moving. All right, now it's getting to the camper. Let's hear what they have to say about the camper.
Camper, I mean, is that what y'all had to go back and get that? Somebody had to drive
Yes.
it back?
Okay, let's listen very clear. We're going to come back to this. We're going to listen to this. We're going to overanalyze these sentences.
No. It's a fifth wheel. It's a fifth wheel.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I couldn't tell. Somebody was just.
No. So there's a couple things that, because of this whole situation, I hope families never endure.
Right.
So before he gets into the camper, he gives us a pity party. Oh, poor me, right? Self-preservation. Poor me. I hope parents never have to go. Well, you guys put yourself in this situation. Let's be honest, right? Chris, didn't you and Katie allegedly put yourself in this situation? Right? There's lights on the outside of your house going to a car that looks like your mom's. I mean, didn't you guys put yourself in this situation? If you didn't want to be in this situation, maybe you should have made sure the child stayed at home in a healthy condition. Maybe you should tell your wife to quit drinking so much. You should have her quit smoking. Why is alcohol okay? Just say it. Let's listen to the poor me again.
You know, so there's a couple things that, because of this whole situation, I hope families never endure.
Right.
Without going into great details, I almost lost my job.
Does that sound normal? Why would somebody almost lose their job? He almost lost his job because he had a bad attitude. Like one that somebody would have if they didn't sleep the night before and tried to make it through work. He was in a crap, poor mood. On the day that his stepson, disappeared. Seems a little odd behavior. And they threatened to lose his job? And he's wanting a poor pity party? Nobody fires somebody from their job for missing a child unless there's some suspicious things going on. Let's go back and listen. Let's go back to the poor pity party. Let's go to the poor me of Chris Proudfoot.
I hope families never endure.
Right.
Without going into great details, I almost lost my job.
Over this?
Yes, over this, very much.
Seems a little weird.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And because of that, I was like, well, so I got permission, and I say I got permission. I asked law enforcement, said, hey, I need to go down, go get my fifth wheel, and I need to bring it home. Mm-hmm. Because right now, you know, and they said, okay. So we told them what day we were going.
So this is what he said. He almost lost his job, and because he almost lost his job, he needed to go down and pick up his camper from a third party. It wasn't on site. So whether he lost his job or not, why did it matter whether his camper was picked up right then and there or not? I'm sorry. What did you say, Rachel? I'm sorry you have a voice like other creators. Can we take our pride and internet bashing by all its sad Betty to all? Maybe private chat, no one knows, and flipping really poor. I don't know what you're trying to say. You'll have to clear that up a little bit. Who is Wabi? Just asking. I don't know who Wabi is, Dwight. He lays it on thick. Yeah. Don't reply, please. Just think of what I'm saying, because all speak, question, respect, all true. This is about Sebastian Rogers. So if you have anything about Sebastian Rogers, please write it. But telling me what I need to be doing is not a good relationship with me. I'm going to do whatever the hell I'm going to do. Just if you don't know who the Bullhorn Betty channel is or who I am, I'm going to do whatever I choose to do. Just saying. No offense, but nobody tells me what to do. That's like literally the common theme of this channel. I appreciate the suggestions, but when you're telling me how to behave, I will behave uglier when somebody tells me how to behave. I don't get told what to do. Ask my mama. She tells me to do one thing, I do just the opposite. I've been like that my whole life. It doesn't work. And I'm 45, so I'm an old dog. You can't teach me any new tricks. Okay. What you see is what you get at this point. Oh, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Home. Because right now, and they said, okay. So we told them
Seth, thank you. I want you to have a great day. Well, I want you to have the best day you can have today. That's what I hope for you. I'll be there just as soon as I can, and can't wait to see you. Can't Can't wait to shower you with love, right? Shower you with love. So it's everybody, let's not forget, this is going to be a really rough weekend and a really rough start to the next week, because we're coming up on a very pivotal time frame, and we want as much support and as much love out there for Sebastian, right? That at the end of the day, we're all doing this. Everything I'm going through is for the sake of Sebastian and finding the answers to what happened with Sebastian. And these people, I feel bad. You know, I see, we're all getting a taste of who Chris and Katie are publicly. And it makes me very sad for Sebastian, because now that we see who they are, truly who they are, how evil they are, it makes us wonder what Sebastian really truly went through living in their home. I can tell you that they wouldn't be parents I'd want. I'm very thankful for my mom. I'm very thankful for my father. I'm very thankful for my family. And I got to tell you, I'm glad I wasn't born to Chris and Katie. I can tell you that. Just saying. Let's go back. Now we got to strip away all the BS. She asked him, I want to just point this out. She asked him about leaving the camper. And he starts going into this dissertation about everything other than the camper, almost like he wants pity for himself as to why he had to go and pick up his camper. But it still didn't make sense, because they turned around and went back 2 weeks later. Did his job not matter then? Didn't look like he was working then. It just seems odd. Why would you give a rat's patootie? Your camper wasn't on business grounds. What did it matter whether you lost your job? Heck, you haven't even worked in Memphis in a really long time, yet your camper was sitting there for months empty. So, can somebody explain that? He just had to go get the camper. Why? He left it there for months, empty. I think it's crazy. I think everything that they say has been a lie. I absolutely believe everything that they have said is a lie. Let's go back. I just went back 20 seconds. Let's listen to this horse crap again.
And because of that, I was like, well, so I got permission, and
I got permission. He does say I got permission. Did they follow him? And I guarantee those yahoos in Sumner County and the yahoos running TBI didn't even tail this man. What you bet? They let him run free with a missing child 3.5 hours away, and they didn't even Brian Koberger him, right? They didn't even tail him. They didn't even watch what he was doing. He could have done anything. This is why I get so frustrated with the policing in Tennessee. Sorry, not sorry. I guarantee not one person followed that man.
And I say I got permission. I asked law enforcement, said, hey, I need to go down, go get my fifth wheel, and I need to bring it home.
I need to go down, get my fifth wheel, and I need to bring it home. Again, 3.5 hours there, 3.5 hours back, 1 hour tops to clean that camper up. Okay, so you're looking at a total of an 8-hour trip, 9 hours at best. So why did it take him twice that time to bring his camper back? Let's keep listening.
Because right now, and they said, okay. So we told him what day we were going.
We told him what day we were going. Now, we remember he keeps saying we, but it really was just him. Katie didn't leave. We can corroborate Katie didn't leave with him.
And we went down there. We weren't even down there, I don't know, 24 hours maybe? I think we were down there maybe 17 hours. Long enough.
17 hours. Maybe up to 24 hours. So a full day. So that means if they were gone for 24 hours, they would have had to, he would have had to leave. He's going to correct himself and say it was just me. Katie didn't go. So, hey, Mama Bear, it's nice to see you. I love how people defend them and say they're following Ellie's advice. Did Ellie tell him to go on podcast for hours doing weird voice? Exactly. No, law enforcement is not telling them this. As a matter of fact, I've got the picture. Law enforcement was very, very clear. Very, very clear on this. Understandably, there is interest in hearing from friends and family to help provide more personal context about Sebastian. This is from the TBI spokesperson. However, we have been requested by the family. So the family's requesting it from them, not them from the family. And it's right here. TBI spokesperson, right there. And this is what it says. So no, they keep telling everybody that law enforcement tells them this and law enforcement tells them, no, they didn't. No, they didn't. They even came to the public to let them know they're not advising him of this. This is what they say. Understandably, there is interest in hearing from friends and family to help provide a more personal context about Sebastian. However, we have been requested by the family, Christopher Proudfoot, to let local media know that they are not in a position to speak to or will be available to media at this time. When has any family denied media for their missing child? And Chris and Katie requested that TBI put out a statement, and TBI did, saying the family requested us to do this. So they wanted to make sure that we knew it was not coming from them, but coming from the family. Let me finish this up. However, we have been requested by the family to let media know that they are not in a position to speak or be available for media at this time. We have told them that while we would relay their message, it would be the decision of the individual media outlets and reporter to proceed as they see fit. Chris and Katie, this is how I proceed and how I see fit. Just FYI. Dirtbags. Dirtbags. Dirtbags, dirtbags, dirtbags that don't mind lying to law enforcement, lying under oath, and lying to the public. You've been busted. Let's keep going. Now that we got that cleared up, it hasn't been TBI. It's been Chris, and it's been Chris this entire time. Seems a little funny because they have a missing child. I have never in the history of covering these cases had a parent, sorry, I didn't mean to yell, had a parent deny media to have their child put front and center when they're truly missing. Because Chris and Katie, they know.
To get down there, I finished packing everything up. And I'll say she didn't go. I was in there long enough to pack everything up. I spent the night in my trailer, hooked up the next morning, and came home.
That doesn't even remotely make sense. There's not enough stuff in that trailer that would take him 10 hours to pack up. There are people in my chat right now that have campers, that have the fifth wheels, that have the ones that expand and close up. You guys know how long it takes you to clear that up and to get that loaded up. You guys know how long it takes you. How long does it take you? Thank you, Dwight. God bless you. For those people in my chat that have any type of camper or fifth wheel, it doesn't need to be that big. It could be bigger. It could be smaller. But how long does it take you to literally pack that up? I don't understand why they weren't arrested for, well, we're in Tennessee, folks. Like I said, you want to get away with murder, go to Tennessee. Just hide the body real well. You'll go without the victim will go without justice, and you will never have to see a cell, a prison cell. Tennessee just, they're a perfect state to hide a body and to get away with murder because they don't care. They don't care. And they don't try to adjust their laws either. It's the wild, wild west in Tennessee. They don't care about women and they don't care about children. Now I'm being a little dramatic, but you know what? I'm doing that for effect. And not only that, I want Tennessee to understand how the rest of the world looks at them when we hear cases like this. Right? And I'm hoping that when they're sick and tired of me telling people to go to their state if they want to unalive their family or their children, maybe they'll start changing their laws to make it a little more difficult for people to do that in their state. Remember, we have more cases in the state of Tennessee than any other case, than any other state. We don't have 5 cases in Texas. We don't have 5 cases in Florida. We have 5 different headliner cases out of the state of Tennessee, and every last one of them have gone unsolved and no arrests. Major cases, national cases. They get an F, folks. Do I like this state of Tennessee? Yes. Do I think it's beautiful? Yes. Do I think it has a lot of great people? Absolutely. But their laws and their DAs and their state attorneys don't know how to run a circumstantial case. They're very ignorant when it comes to that. And that has left a lot of unsolved cases on the table because of their unwillingness to do their damn job. Period. They don't know whether to scratch their watch or wind their butt. And I'm getting sick and tired of it, personally. I'm getting sick and tired of it personally. And this is not going to be any different. Sebastian's case is going to get frickin' cobwebs on it if that community doesn't start standing up and speaking up. Period. We can only do so much. But at some point, the community itself is going to have to take the bull by the horns and drive this bad boy home. You need to break up your good old boys club in Tennessee. It's not helping you. It's helping their pockets, but it's not helping the people. The sheriff won't even have a main person to answer questions, a public information officer. They're too cheap or don't have the budget to even have, like, this is the biggest case of Craddock's career right here, and he's failing. And you wonder why he's not having press conferences? Because he's failing. He's failing at the biggest job of his career right here. Now, is there going to be another big career-breaking job? Probably. This is Tennessee. People like hurting people and hiding bodies and getting away with murder. So, with that being said, he's failing. He's failing his community. He's failing this case. He won't let anybody know or give anybody any type of transparency as to what they dropped the ball on, but we know they dropped the ball up front. They didn't even take fingerprints around the house. They thought there was no point in doing so. What idiots. What idiots. You know what it could have done, Mr. Craddock? I'm not going to call you sheriff. You're not my sheriff. But Mr. Craddock, it would have proved that he did not walk out that front door. That's what it would have proved. If you'd have just taken out a single kit and dusted that door handle and dusted those numbers on the keypad, you might have already had your answer. But hey, it wasn't worth your time. Just like doing forensics wasn't worth your time. But hey, don't worry. We believe you're turning over every rock and every stone to get to the truth. Okay. Let's go back to the pity party.
No, I say she didn't go. I was in there long enough to pack everything up. I spent the night in my trailer, hooked up the next morning, and came home.
Mm-hmm. So, but will you be going back to work there? I mean, they'll allow you to go back to work there? In Memphis?
Things have worked out. I will be returning to work.
Good, okay. All right. Good.
Things have worked out. I will be returning to work. I don't think he ever returned to work. I think that was just an excuse for him and Katie to run away from home. Because it was my understanding when he left, he was told that he can't come back until he cleans this situation up, or clears this situation up. He can't come back to their job. So when they said that he was going back to their job, but they're all sitting in the camper for days, I started realizing that he probably is not going. So now we heard it. It was Smiley's World. And it's not just 17 hours. It was 17 hours up to 24 hours. Now he wants us to believe it took him 24 hours to clean that camper up and bring it home. I want you guys to think that. 24 hours to get a camper 3.5 hours away back to his house. That is critical information. Critical information. He was gone a full day for a 3.5 hour drive. With the biggest life catastrophe he could have ever imagined. What person is going to sit there and leave their wife at home? Remember, he's the protector. We just heard out of one side of his mouth, that's his job. That's his job. Dun, 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 Chris Proudfoot. Right? That's his job, being that strong man. And you're such a strong man that you literally duck and hid for 24 hours because normal men that are going through this, one, wouldn't even give a rat's ass about their camper. They would call down there, tell them the situation, hand them a credit card and say, charge whatever you need to. I'll be down there when I can get down there to pick it up. You know, that's the first and foremost what a real man would have done. Secondly, if he did have to, without a doubt, go pick up the camper, I don't think he would have cared what broke in that camper, what fell over in that camper. I don't think somebody, but you know what? Even if they's like, okay, let me just batten down the hatch on these few things. I don't see it taking 10 hours. Think about it. That man could have repainted it, refloored it, pressure cleaned it, put a new air conditioning, and did some repairs on the engine in that amount of time. That he's saying that he had to just clean up his camper and bring it home. Allegedly, I've been telling you there's something with that camper from the very, very beginning. Darren, it could be part, because I can't figure out why they parked it in Mississippi so long. That was completely out of the state and the jurisdiction of TBI. And now we're hearing that it's possible that another camper was switched out with it, potentially Kathy Bowersox. But nobody can confirm that. That's just speculative. Until somebody can give me pen to paper or give me a segment where it is stated or confirmed by Chris or Katie, it's speculative. We can't use it. Allegedly, he switched with his mom, but that's again, why guess about it? If he allegedly did, we should have some proof of that. I'm hearing there were 3 different campers in their family. Well, but would they all order Montanas? Because his was a Montana. Or at least the one he took to Yogi Bear was a Montana. Now, we don't know what the first one was, right? Could the first one have been different? I'd have to think that they have tag numbers and, serial numbers on the car, vehicle identification numbers on the car that would identify whether that was, but we have to have law enforcement that actually wants to find answers. We don't even have a good investigative reporter, like Nick Barris is just, hey, Sheriff, can you give me any news? What kind of investigative reporting is that? Like, Nick never even has fact find one scintilla of information that he's been provided. He hasn't even looked into it. He's just vomiting whatever he's told to vomit. Should add their photos to Sebastian's on the billboard. You know what? That's what we're going to do. Kelly, I am going to do billboards. That is a great idea. That is an absolute great idea. We're going to design a billboard. We're going to design billboards, and we're going to strategically put them in and around the Tennessee, the Mississippi, and the Louisiana area. I think those would be the best places. Maybe North Carolina. You know what? That's a great stinking idea, because we're going to make their face bigger than Sebastian's, because at the end of the day, we got plenty of billboards going up for Sebastian, right? We just had somebody come into our live on the other channel bragging about how many billboards they've got and Kentucky for Sebastian. So we don't need to cover Sebastian. They got Sebastian covered. Maybe it's now time to find out some information about two parents that have changed their story quite a bit and have a lot to hide. And then we're going to need to extend because I was looking up till March 2nd, but that fat mouth that they're friends with, she was creeping by their house on the 3rd, and clearly the camper wasn't at their house on the 3rd. So it sounds like it was even after the 3rd that they went back to get the camper. So that was over a week later. That's much later than what we knew. Didn't they put billboards around the husband's property for the Dees case? Yeah. So let's go ahead and do it. Well, thank you, Dwight. God bless you. Let's do that. Guys, time to bring it in. I'll have to get the dimensions, but you guys can know what size the billboards are. Go to Blip Billboards. Find out what you need to do. Let's design. I know I got graphic designers in here. I know I got people that are novice or amateurs, and everybody that likes to pitch in and do stuff. Let's do this. Let's vote on designs. Let the audience design the billboard. Let's design the billboard. Everybody send me your favorite design. Design a billboard. You guys can go to Blip Billboards and look at the dimension of it. Send your creative thoughts to bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Let's make Chris and Katie and Sebastian primary. We need to find information about Chris and Katie, right? We know their story blows. We know that it's changed multiple times. Not too many people have come forward. Maybe not too many people have known. He just gave me a compliment. Did he do something wrong? Dwight, you can't be mean. You can't do bad things. Oh, you shouldn't have timed him out, Pebbles. That wasn't nice. He gave me a compliment. I don't get compliments from anybody anymore. Miss Betty is Dwight's hall pass. Oh, he's trolling you. Oh man, Dwight, you breaking my heart. You gave me a little hope in the hopeless. He's married. Oh, shame. We don't like that. You guys should know about me. And Don't be fishing in nobody else's pond. That's how a lot of problems happen. Oh, no. We don't. Bad boy. That's just. I hope your wife is watching. Is Dwight's wife watching? I'm telling you, I got a big mouth. I don't know if you know, and I'm not talking about in a good way either. You sneak it behind your wife's back, you might be debuted on the Bullhorn Betty Show. Jeez Louise. I guess go to Tennessee if you want to get rid of. Exactly, that's what I've been saying. It's sad. Let's look at our poll. Let's end the poll. We're ending the poll. Let's see what we got for the ending of the poll. No. So we got 2/3. Did Katie appear upset about her son missing? We had almost 600 votes. Almost 600 votes. And that would be what? 400 saying no, she doesn't care, and only 200 saying she cares. Hot Wheels. Well, there we have it. I'm glad we were able to clarify some things up on. We're still looking for the date he went and picked up his camper. But when you're starting to look at the photos that people posted on social media from their house, I didn't know these people at the time. And one being Fat Mouth, that's their spokesperson, their criminal spokesperson. Blue Line Media, Billboard advising in Tennessee, advertising in Tennessee. Okay, well, thank you. Send me over that. But anybody that wants to design a billboard, let's start getting some information. We got a whole group of people running information for Sebastian. Let's see what we can do. I mean, parents, Chris was missing in action. Where was he? Where was he? So we'll have to design. So send me over your designs. Let's see if we can start strumming up some leads and information for TBI related to the whereabouts of Chris and Katie, which are very questionable. Their story has changed quite a bit since their child has been missing. And let's face it, they just had some really red flag and problematic behavior since this case started. And we're not going to stop until we bring Sebastian home. So Chris and Katie, you want me off your ass? Just tell me where Sebastian is. Oh, Abigail, thank you. Love you. God bless you. Oh, there's a beautiful little baby. Aw. So, you know, if you want us off your ass, here's how you get us off your ass, Chris and Katie. Are you listening? Chris, Katie, hey, listen. Tell us where he's at. You'll never see me or hear from me again. I promise you. I can do that. Because at the end of the day, all I'm looking for is a boy. I could care less what piece of shit parents you are. I could care less how you beat the shit out of each other. I could care less how crazy and disturbed both of you are. Or the fact that you're potentially sociopaths. I don't care about any of that. Produce the boy, I go away. Right? Produce the boy, I go away. You'll never hear me talk about you again, except whenever, you know, other stuff starts happening. That's all we want. That's all we want. All right, guys, God bless you. Thank you for hanging out with me. I've got some work to do. That's why I'm kind of getting all my stuff done early in the morning so I can get all the stuff. Oh, thank you, Darren. God bless you. If you voted, you should have given Betty a thumbs up. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, don't forget to go out there and thumbs this up. I appreciate you all being here, and we will rock it out with our coffee beans out, but let's keep looking down the 17 hours. I think we're going to get to a date. I think we're going to get to a date. We need to go back through the photos and find out when the camper showed up at their home. And then we know by the 3rd it was not there, and we know what date they left. We need to determine the exact date that they left. I remember it was the next day after the major search that they did out there. Chris and Katie were seen at the barbecue joint, and the next day they pack up their camper and hit the road, kick rocks, because they were called out so bad for not helping with the search, but having time to go eat barbecue. They're disgusting people. So I think we're going to be able to get this. I think we're going to be able to get this, get the date, at least as close as we're going to get within this week. I think we're going to figure it out by this week. And this is just a timeline issue that we need to button up. So it's a timeline issue that nobody seems to have the answer to, and we need to find the answer to that because it's critical. Because I truly believe it's that 17 hours that he had an opportunity, 17 to 24 hours. We're going to clarify that right now because we heard it right out of Chris's mouth. If he doesn't even know whether he was gone 17 hours or 24 hours, then we don't know whether he was gone 17 hours or 24 hours. So he could have literally been gone 24 hours for a 3.5-hour trip. Now explain to me how that makes sense. And he's just acting like it's no big deal. It is a big deal. You disappeared after your son disappears. And you disappear for an extended amount of time, more so than you would have ever been gone. That there's no way you can possibly tell people that it took over 10 hours to clean that small ass camper. There's no way. If you own a camper or anything the size of Chris's, please email me. Let me know what your process is of cleaning it and how you would feel if you had a missing child. What would you do to rush that along? Or would you take your time and pressure clean it and change out the flooring and, paint the interior and, do all of that? Because that's about how much it took. Did he have to do something inside that camper? Did he have to methodically and meticulously clean every crevice in that camper? Is that the reason why it took him so long to get it home? There's a reason. We need to find out the date, and we need to find out the why. All right, guys, we'll see you a little bit later. God bless. See you soon. Hey, B Betty, it's nice to see you, my love. Bye, guys. I love ya. Trying to get rid of evidence might take up exactly. But you know what? Think about it a different way. Like I said, what if he had to methodically clean that camper before he brought it home? That would have explained it. That would explain why it took him so long. I don't know. If we find out that there's anything to do with that camper, the FBI can come in because it was interstate. It went from Tennessee to Mississippi. That's interstate. That might be our angle in the FBI to have the FBI take it over. You see what I'm saying? You see where I'm going with this? We need to figure it out. We need to figure it out. All right, guys, take care. Rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe and kind to one another. God bless.